Right, for Woodlands, who are selling 32 yearlings at this year's NZB Standardbred Sale. It's going to come around very quickly, Monday, February 16th. We're happy to be catching up with the Kennies. Firstly, Paul, welcome.
Thank you.
And Mary, thank you very much for joining me. And in your lovely house, and I have going to start this off by saying thank you very much for the hospitality. It has been second to none, so thank you very much for having me.
You're most welcome, Paul, anytime.
Anyway, I'm wondering, I am staying here, so I'm very, very spoilt. But this interview, it's a Woodlands interview, but it's one I want to do, and I'm going to catch up with Ken Brecken hopefully as well and discuss it a little bit on the back of the record, selling the record price colt last year that for a period of probably 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, you held exclusively, but then joined that with Ken. But the Kenny family, Charlie Roberts, Woodlands have been a part of selling horses for a long, long time. I'll ask you, Mary, first, and we'll get Paul's answer in a sec. What did it feel like last year when the hammer fell and, you know, I think it was it 360,000 and
Yes.
and it was a New Zealand record. I think it's an Australasian record. I mean, your initial emotion sort of after the the hammer fell or the gavel hit the ground?
It was quite surreal. It really was. I never expected him to make that much. And, you know, people sort of said, how do you value him? And I said, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it was exciting, very exciting.
The whole build-up, Paul, and I'll get your response as well, but there was this massive build-up to it because there was two Captaintreacherous colts, 70 and 73, and it was us against them, and I don't mean that in any way with you and Ken and them, but that build-up, what Mary said there, like, did you guys feel that build-up and that pressure?
We've been selling horses for a long time, and we knew he was the real deal, if you like. But so was Ken and Karen's. Yeah. They were two exceptionally nice horses, and the fact that they made the same amount is probably appropriate. And as far as our relationship with the Breckens is concerned, we've got a very close friendship, and it was only enhanced by the fact that we'd both made the same money.
It's a scary thing because the great saying is you need two people to a gunfight. Like for an auction, you need two people bidding. In one sense, the fact that you were first is good, but that could mean that one person says, no, I'm out, I'll wait for that next horse. And then from Ken and Karen's point of view, well, one is definitely out, you would think anyway, when it sells for that sort of money. So it must have been just an incredible amount of, and I think personally it was a super fitting result for everyone. And I think Ken and Karen's horse got a bigger applause. I don't think it was actually because everyone said, you know, I think it was like, oh, that's so fitting, these two colts that no one could split have actually ended up on the same price. Like, I think that's where that applause come from. Yeah,
no, that's true. Both out of amazing mares.
Yeah.
Both looked the part, and it's a coincidence they've both gone to the same buyer. But Stonewall obviously couldn't split them. No, and neither could the losing bidder, because I think it was the same losing bidder on both as well, which you've got to feel for them as well. Like, you say you put your hand up at 350 and you come home with nothing is a bit disappointing, I would imagine.
I felt sorry for them.
Yeah. And anyway, that is an auction, and sometimes you really got to roll the sleeves up, as they say, and go from it. The response afterwards, like the farm, you know, like the staff, how was that like in the days, and I would imagine months afterwards, like was there a great response from everyone?
There was. They'd expected far more from the sale for the horse himself than we did.
Yep.
Mary said the experience was surreal. I was behind the box. I was just terribly, terribly relieved that we'd got into the sale in one piece. You know what it's like with horses.
Yep.
Anything can happen. It was. There are so many people who were responsible for the success of that particular horse.
And I think-
and we're grateful. We are terribly grateful to them all.
I think everyone done their part too.
Yes.
We say there before about yourself and Ken, the promotion, both sides. There was
Yep.
cameras, videos. Everyone knew that these horses were coming up. NZB bought into it as well. So I think I personally thought when it happened, I thought that's just the perfect response. But you don't think about the poor staff and things like that back at the farm, and they're talking about these horses selling for terrific money and what it means for those. You can start at Tony and Kelly right down, but everyone. I mean, there would have been girls that have walked that horse, several times, and they hear about this is, it comes back. It rewards them in a way, doesn't it? In a different sort of manner.
The girl that was supposed to lead him through the ring, she had done all the leading of the horse all the way through, and she got kicked by another yearling the day before the sale, and she was absolutely gutted that she couldn't lead him through the ring. And I said to Kelly, well, Kelly, you're going to have to get back into your harness.
And one thing about Kelly, she does an awesome job. She ain't that keen on being in front of the camera, and there was a lot of, I did notice that. Hello, Kel. I did notice she wasn't that keen on that, was she?
No, she wasn't, but she stepped up.
Yeah. The young girl, was she there today? The girl that got
Yes,
kicked?
and she led the colt today.
She led
brother.
the full brother today.
Yeah.
We'll touch
So
on that.
Hopefully she stays in one piece and gets to lead him through this time.
It was just a freaky thing, wasn't it, that happened? I remember she just, another horse near, and unfortunately she was in the wrong spot. And a kick, and we've all been kicked before, but she came off very second best. So, that does happen.
I think I should also say that in a quiet moment, very soon after the sale, Mary and I thought about Mary's father.
Yep, and what he's done, because that's what I want to point out. You could just go and buy a mare like Adore Me. You can just say, right, that's the best mare, send it to the best, and we're going to do that. But that's actually not what has happened here. It's a legacy that's got to this stage. Like, it is a family that Charlie has been very keen on, and you guys have kept with it. You actually have kept it very, very private, probably up until about 3 years ago, I would say, because now in Australia there is quite a lot of it, and people are reaping the rewards of that work. But yeah, to sit down, and it's a little bit of the Woodlands mantra, if you like. I've had a discussion with Andrew today, and is possibly quite often there are a few things left of field, but when they come off with sparkling success. Like, it is sort of fits that mould as well, doesn't it?
Yes, we refer to the family as the royal family.
Yeah.
And everyone at the stud calls them the royal family. You can't keep them all.
No.
And a lot of the mares kept having fillies, and we kept quite a few for a while, for some time. But then costs of everything go up, and that. So, and last year's colt was the first colt out of Adore Me to go to a yearling sale.
Yeah.
So,
Was that a tough decision? You guys, you do race horses. You predominantly race fillies. I don't think you race a colt. You're going to no. You only race
not deliberately.
Yeah.
We've raced the odd colt.
So was this one ever? Was it ever sat down and said, "Oh, let's keep him and race him," or was it always, okay, we're going, like from the day he foaled down? Was it like, radio? Well, he's got to be ready for February. Was that always the case?
in my mind, yes.
No, we couldn't afford to keep him. and that's about it.
Yeah.
And a colt like him comes along. He was a very nice horse. We all loved him, and his nickname was Buster, and he'll always be Buster to us. But it was never really seriously considered to keep him.
Buster, it's a random name for a royal family. How did Buster come about?
Oh, we've had all sorts of names.
Ask the girls.
It's just one of those. That's okay. There's nothing behind it. I thought, maybe there's something behind that we need to know. Then you've gone and got another colt before that bloke went through the sales as well. So all of a sudden the tide's turning. You've moved a few of these fillies on, and then all of a sudden you're having a run of colts. Is the next one a colt as well, or not? Or there is no more after this next bloke?
No, we lost the pregnancy.
Pregnancy,
because
okay.
She has to have a surrogate.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things about the family, because her grandmother was the same. Did she not have issues as well? Like, it's not an easy family to breed with. Like, there is their little tests as well that can try people along the way.
Splendid Dreams, she ruptured the prepubic ligament, and she had to be embryo transferred every year after that.
So the reality is, it's not all beer and Skittles, is what I'm going to say. Like, people turn around and say, oh, you've got this family, you get $360,000 straight back into the bank. It's simple, it's easy. I mean, there is a lot of heartache, a lot of trying times as well. And for people like yourselves that have been in the game for a long time, been very, very successful, on the racetrack, people see it is successful and sales, and they say, oh, look at this. Doesn't always work that way. I know the journey. You've got horses, you've put a reserve, what you think is modest reserve on horses, they don't get to it. You have two options, and good luck to him, because he's behind the box and he's got to make that decision from time to time. But it is this amazing game of highs and lows, if you like. I think sometimes people say because of the dollar it works, but it's not always about the dollar, is it?
No, we've had some wonderful luck between Mary's father and Mary and I, with horses in the latter part of Charlie's life. But we've also had the lowest of lows.
Yeah.
But that's horses, that's farming, and you just carry on.
It's one of the things I think I find frustrating about our sport, that we get measured by wins, is generally how people, they say, oh, that trainer's going bad because he's only had 5 wins for the year. But he might only need 5 wins on the year to be having, that's the icing on the top of his cake. No one actually knows what's going on behind there, and that. And they'll see a mare that's had a foal and it's only won one race. Well, it was a failure, but you don't know what's happened behind the scenes and things like that. Sometimes a horse winning one race is actually a success, because they could have had issues right along and it'll never race, and it wins a race. And people retire it happy. It's a funny way we actually gauge this sport. Personally, I hate it. I think we should be able to engage it by people's enjoyment, if that makes sense. If people are enjoying it, then we should be happy about it and the results. And clearly, that's what happened on that day. And it was a magic day too, because I think Pat Driscoll's colt that ended up selling for 240,000 ish. Or you 360, 240, a little bit later on, but he wasn't even that much later on. I mean, there was a magic buzz about the industry, and I think that's if you could bottle what it was for the sport, like, for a sport that's, especially here in New Zealand, you're definitely on the up, but it was only 4 or 5 years ago you were on the decline. Now things are on the up and people are up and about and buzzing and things like that. I think if we could bottle that sort of emotion, the sport would be awesome. But I want people to go to the sales. One of the reasons I do this, I want people to go to the sales, not to buy, yes, buy, but not to buy, to enjoy and understand what actually happens.
And the parades we've had here in the Auckland area yesterday and today are probably the best attended as far as numbers and depth of interest that I think we've seen since the sale was inaugurated here.
Yeah. You guys had another colt, beautifully bred colt, I think by Treacherous, was one lot afterwards. Was there a trotter in between, and he wasn't far off there as well?
Yes, one out of the same family. One out of Aliente, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And to be frank, it's all about the individual.
Yeah.
And he was a different type. And I mean, who knows how the two of them are going to go on the racetrack?
Yeah.
He was a different type. We didn't get as much for him.
And you didn't get what you wanted for him. That's what I was about to say. Like, it is his highs and lows, isn't it? Like, your expectations.
We were happy with what he made and thought it was a reflection of what he was worth, yes. Yeah.
You don't have to tell me. What was the reserve on that colt? Like, was it a struggle to get to it, or was it there pretty quickly?
No, it was there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, Mary's always been a realistic seller.
Yep.
Every
he's
now,
not.
every now and again, I have
No,
to
he
be.
gets a bit carried away.
Every now and again, I have to be dragged to it. But at the end of the day, it's an auction. As we talked about off camera a little while ago, auctions are in our blood.
Yep.
And there's not much point in taking a product, whether it's cattle or horses, to the sale if you're not prepared, in most cases, to meet the market.
Did you stay in your chair? Like,
Yes, I sat in the auditorium.
and didn't move out of your chair though? Like once you started getting up to that figure, you were... No.
No, I just sat there.
Shocked or...
Probably, yes. Well, it was happening so quickly.
Yeah, and it did, didn't it?
And it just bang, 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 and, 360, and I'm thinking, oh, God, what's going on? And I had, Sarah was sitting with me, and Andrew,
Yeah.
so had the family there, and Sarah started to cry.
Did you?
I don't think I did,
Yeah.
which is unusual.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take much to make me cry.
Would that be fair? Like
Yes, a bit of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What about yourself, Paul? Anyone that hasn't been to Cracker, you go out the back. It's quite like people who sell horses in just about every other area. They go to the back of the box. People say could come to the back of the box, and literally a lot of the time that is where the auctioneers are. At Cracker, there is a purpose-built area, whereas I know Graham Henley and Andrew Grierson, especially at Wheeling sales, they make themselves coffees, they've got everything, they just sit down because they're every second lot and they come up and they can do that. It's private, yet your head sticks out over the box. What did you do? Did you walk away? Did you stand there? Did you sit down? Did you...
As the auction was happening?
Yeah.
No, I stand there and look at what's happening over the door. The door's fairly high.
It is. You're only. It's
Yeah.
A lot of the Australians will understand. You're a dicky knee. Like all you can see is your head, like and bobbing along.
Yes.
So I was wondering, did you walk away or?
No, we're there for business.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was amazing, and look, hopefully for NZB and everyone involved, we can recapture that again this year. You do have the full brother to him, and we will touch on that in a second, but. Again, I just want people to be aware that come to an auction, don't be scared. They're not going to take you rubber your nose, especially if you haven't registered. So come and enjoy it and watch it and understand it. And, that grouping of horses, and as I said, I think from memory it was about 15, 20 lots later that Calder Pats came through. It was just a magic time that we probably should have sold it. Everyone be at Caraca at, the racing's about to start, if you like, because it's going to be, because I just thought it was magic, and it was a magic time of the year. Today, we've had the Yelling Parade. Firstly, trying conditions for Woodlands. It was trying conditions for the three parades, but unfortunately the team at Woodlands struck the worst of it. The heavens opened and just did not want to stop. Anne-Marie, when she's watching this, I think it was her fault, because she said, I think it's lightning off. And I said, no, and because it didn't stop until the end of the parade. But what a magic job the staff did with the 32 horses, 28 colts, 4 fillies today. They just done an awesome job, didn't they?
They did. And all credit to them, how it all went, because the weather wasn't conducive to parading yearlings. No. And people had umbrellas up and, that sort of thing, and the horses have never seen anything like that. But I think they handled themselves pretty well.
Yeah. I said to Andrew, like, we could sit here and say every one of them was foolproof. They weren't. But they walked into that auditorium parade area, and what would there be? Seriously, would have been 8, 9 umbrellas. I couldn't believe Cam and James had to stand underneath one. I thought that was very, very low key of them. You guys didn't have one. They're standing under one. All right, boys. But it was daunting. But overall, they just done an amazing job, these horses. But the presentation and the pride in trying conditions as well was second to none. I was blown away, and I know the feedback from a lot of people was just outstanding, wasn't it?
We stand stallions as well.
Yeah.
And as far as our staff are concerned, from top to bottom, they're pretty tired because they've done a 6-month stud season.
Yeah, well, Sweet Lou and Seaside only went home yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so our guys and girls are all pretty tired, but still there to give it their all.
Yep.
We've seen worse rain, and it can get worse there if it's blowing as well.
Yep.
But it wasn't. We were fortunate it wasn't blowing. But the horses performed well. Got to give it to the leaders.
Yep.
They were resolute all the way through.
It's becoming what I've seen, and again, you guys pay me, but what I've seen is a stamp almost of the Woodland stock coming through, and I do put a little bit of that to Sweetloo and Seaside. They are both big-boned, big-bodied horses, and they throw that through. There's Better's the king, as he's called. Hughesy's going to hate me for saying this. He didn't throw that stamp, and maybe that's a little bit of what happened with Woodlands. Now you've got these two dominant stallions they're dominant on the racetrack, what they're doing, but they are throwing a dominant line through them, and there's a hell of a lot of wow factor when these boys walked in there today. They're big, strong lads, like so many of them were, weren't they?
The test, we have always thought that the test of a successful draft is that you've got a nice line of horses.
Yeah.
And you haven't got great variations. And today I was particularly proud of the fact that what we were producing, they all were all stamped by their respective sires.
Yeah.
American Ideal had one there today, which you and I have talked about. He's out of it down by the Seaside mare.
But when he walked, and this is a truth. I didn't have a catalogue because it was too wet. They were getting wet, and I thought, there's another Seaside. And then Cam says he's an American Ideal guy, and I was like, hello. Like he's really thrown to that. So you've got that bigger, more powerful, if you like, next generation horse. If that's the way to put it.
Produced a very nice
but
product.
we are very lucky in that our stud season, a lot of those horses are born August, September, October, and that makes a big difference when you're lining them up against November and December.
Yeah, and that's exactly, and the farms, and that's probably one of those things we forget. Like Andrew is he's a partner in the business, but the veterinary side of things, making sure that these horses are there early, put the masks on them, try and get them cycling early, which can be difficult in New Zealand. It can be very difficult because August, September can be trying whether to try and get mares cycling. Some years it's easy. But the forward planning to have these horses have early foals to get to a day like today, you just get the great results. It makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Yes, and also the climate in Auckland is a lot kinder than the South Island.
It's a lot kinder than Victoria. I think a lot of people get a shock at that. They say when I'm saying going to New Zealand, they said I'll be cold. It was wet today, but it wasn't cold. I mean, it does get cold here, but effectively you're higher than Sydney, where we are right now. If you drew a line around the world, we're as high as what Sydney is. So beautiful weather. So it definitely helps and grows out horses. And one of the other things we've spoken about here, a little bit off topic, we'll get back onto it, is that because of the way you guys are set up with your exporting of the semen back to Australia, that the Aussies can have a mare inseminated anytime from 10 to 11 o'clock, basically, because of the planes, because you guys have got this formula that, get up at, I hate Tony and those guys, they must get up at like 3 o'clock, 3 days a week to get it done, but geez, you're getting the rewards now, leading sire again, but it's not better this year, like it's Sweetloo, like you're getting the rewards of so much hard work from so many people, we will forget people, but the office staff, Kelly, but the girls underneath, you've got so many regulars. Dan, we cannot forget Dan. I hate seeing poor old Dan when he's in the parade ring, because generally it means it's a tough horse and he's got to walk it and he's got to have a smile and a bit of swagger.
You're not supposed to say that.
I think a few people are aware of it. Don't worry, but and these guys are unheralded. Most of the time, what you say is if they're lovely horses, Dan's out the back, painting feet and getting them ready and things along those lines. These guys do a great job. It's such a massive team effort, isn't it?
It is a huge team effort. And you're right that, without good staff, you're not going to get the results. But they work on those horses all year.
Yeah.
It's not just, it's the 1st of November, which we're still in the middle of breeding. So it's not that they've come in and had a huge long prep.
Yeah.
They haven't come in until the beginning of January.
But I know
But the work's all been done through the year.
Kelly says about putting covers on, taking covers off, getting them used to that. So when they come in, it's second nature, so they're ready to go. It's so much forward planning. And let's face it, you only have 5 stallions, but it's not like you have a groom for every stallion either. Like, you are not understaffed, please don't take it that way, but you're not overstaffed. It's not like there's an excess of people.
No.
I mean, the forward planning that everyone has after a 4 a.m. start or 3 a.m. start, 4 a.m. collect, to get, I forgot Tony's wife's name, Leanne. Yeah, Leanne on to the plane and get that part organised, and then it's like, okay, that's done. Let's go and paint fence posts. Let's go and move weanlings. Let's go and things along those lines. There's so many things that does go on, and I think, again, you guys pay me, but I think the job that Woodlands are doing is second to none, and it's on 3 islands. Well, actually, probably 4. I better not forget my Tasmanian friends. I get into trouble, but it is on the 4 islands. Australia and New Zealand. I think the dominance you guys are starting to show is just outstanding. I think it's awesome. So that part is showing. But you can see when you come here and see these parades, you can see why that is actually happening. Yeah. So
We're very lucky to have the staff we've got, and including the farrier.
Yep.
You can't forget him.
Yeah.
He does the hard yards with the trimming of the feet and then the shoeing and that. So.
And almost the master, if you like, as well, Tony, who stands there. He didn't walk any horses today, but he is just standing there, watching, helping the girls, pointing out the ones that don't know where to go with them. If they got one that's giving them a hard time, just bring it here, stand it here. Like they might have said they don't want it there, just bring it here, stand it here. That forward thinking as well. It just helps the whole thing work so well, doesn't it?
Yes, he's the master of ceremonies.
He is. He is indeed. Rightio. This year's sale, you guys have got lot number 46, a full brother to last year's. Do you? I would imagine you probably dream of beating that $360,000. But how do you guys personally look at it and where he's at? His parade today was outstanding, but how do you guys look at it after what was a magical year last year for him? Do you have expectations, the pair of yous, or
he's a slightly different individual physically? So at this stage, we don't have any preconceived idea of what he might make, or most breeders are very keen to get their horses through the ring in one piece and be happy with the result. And you've got to take what the market's going to pay.
When you set a reserve, again, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but do you set a reserve a little bit off what a horse owes you and you think it's worth, or is it purely what you guys think it's worth? I don't know if
it's purely what we think where we think the market is on sale day.
Yeah.
And you can judge it by a number of things, but it's mainly the interest in the horse before the auction, before it goes in the ring. Every breeder's gone to the sale hoping against hope that they're going to do better than they actually do. We're realistic, and you've got to be.
Yeah.
But the thing, you cannot set a reserve based on what the horses cost you to get it that far. It's got to be related to the market and what you think the market's like that day.
You guys have a unique way about it. I've spoken to quite a lot of people, but it is a round table. It is a Knights of the Round Table that I think there's 4 or 5 of you, sometimes 6 of you that will put your input, and it's off your bidding cards. Like Stacey will be there and she'll say which players are looking at which horse, how often they've looked at that horse, how many times they've got that horse out of the box, and then market value and where a horse should or shouldn't start. And I do think I wish a lot more people would come over and actually ask you guys how you do it, because I think sometimes people will say, well, this has got $30,000 worth of bonuses in it. It's a $20,000 horse. So it's got 30, so it's at least 50,000. But they almost sell it for themselves. It's a $20,000 horse, but because it's got 30,000, I think it's worth 50, which is not the method that you guys go by. I know you're not going to turn around and say, well, no one's got lot 46 out this year. Okay, well, we better just put him at 10 grand. I know that's not going to happen, but there is a formula you guys go, and it's pretty tried, and it's very, very proven.
Yeah, and as far as Woodlands itself is concerned, we're very fortunate that we've got 32 yearlings going through the ring on the one day. And breeding is frequently a game of unders and overs.
Yep.
Some don't make quite what you'd hoped. Others beat what you'd hoped. And you just it isn't over till the last lot's gone through.
But I would imagine also, because you are stallions, you have stallions, you also have lines of broodmares, that you might say, and I know you just did it, was down by the seaside, you would put a reserve under service fee price just to put that horse on the market and just get those horses out there. You do take a hit that, I think a lot of people don't necessarily see. It was a great friend of mine, Noel Ridge, he rang me and said, how can they sell these horses? It was his first year. How can they sell these horses under that? And so I said, well, that's what you guys do. You meet what the market says and where you want the market to be.
Yes, we like to meet the market, and we can't keep taking them back home because we've got a whole lot of young ones that are, to take their places. So, and it gets them out onto the track, and somebody else is paying for them.
Yeah, well, and then they start straight away. They're not an expense to Woodlands; they're actually an expense to that next person, and that's a reality of a sale. That might sound a little bit callous, but that is actually the way it is. They stop becoming an expense for you. So even if you sold them at a loss, you're still ahead once the horse has gone away because you're not continuing that up. So it is a tricky one.
We are always conscious, though, of the other side of the coin, and that's that we've got customers, clients who have paid a service fee, and they've got a progeny to sell, and we need to be seen to be supporting their product as well.
Now, you guys also have another colt, a Stay Hungry colt out of Splendid. Splendor, yeah. I don't know what lot number it is, but I do know he's a lovely colt. But
lot 20, I think.
Yeah, he's a lovely colt as well. Got a lot of attention. Mr. Lagan was having a good look at him. I'll throw a bit of it. He'll tell me off for that. But Peter was running a good eye on him while Andrew and I were getting ready to do our interview, and he had a good look at him. But a beautiful colt as well, and beautiful family. That Magnificent Storm continues. Like, it was only just the other day, and he might be 10 now. He was a 9-year-old, I think, with that. Yeah, he's just a magic horse, and he's a beautiful colt, isn't he?
He's a lovely colt. He's really developed into a very nice horse. We sold Splendor to Western Australia.
I've heard the results of this story.
And it didn't end up well for the lady that bought her, unfortunately. Yeah. She lost the mare and the foal. Yeah. So,
and that's the highs of the game. And that's why I say it's a lot of the hidden secrets that people don't see. And we feel for that lady, but that unfortunately is the industry we are in.
Yes, I felt so sorry for her. She'd paid good money for the mare, and to lose everything. But that's horses,
Yeah.
Up there today, down there tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a good saying, but I won't say it because I think it's a bit crude, but I can't actually remember it anyway, so it's okay, I won't have to worry. The rest of your draft, and we can wax on lyrically about this for a long time, but any ones that surprised you guys when you saw them out walking today, like any under the Woodlands banner that you went, wasn't expecting to see that?
There were a couple of really nice colts that I really liked. One was the first class lady, I think it was. He's a lovely horse. Yep. And one that probably won't make a lot of money, but that was the Victor Ideal colt. Yep. He's very nice too.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was a leather up at the other end that I got mistaken for a Sweet Lou, and and if he was a Sweet Lou, you'd be paying a lot more for him. But I tell you, he did look like a Sweet Lou. He's a beautiful little colt, isn't he? And he's not little. I keep saying that about poor old Sudsy. Everything I say about Sudsy, I don't know how you guys employ me here, because he's 16 something hands leather up, and he's staying here this year, but he's doing a good job. And that colt's a nice colt, and I would imagine he's not going to be at a King's Ransom's price, but just a lovely colt with a bit of a stamp about him. Paul, was there one for you?
Well, I'm a bit biased, and I've been told off because of it. But I really like Mary's her Stay Hungry colt.
Yep,
he's the complete article.
Yeah. He's a good colour too.
He is, and he's developed, and he's now a very nice attitude horse.
Yeah.
As well. We saw the Victor Ideal horse. He was one of the first colts moved into the new boxes there a little while ago. We saw him, and I thought, gee, he's nice. So he's put together nicely. There's a line of colts there down by the seaside.
It's scary.
Colts,
I don't want you to. You don't have to name them all. It's scary. When you look at them and on type.
Yes.
Yeah. I said, that American Ideal colt. He was like, wow. And then I couldn't even tell you his pedigree page. Yeah.
Yeah. You and I both observed earlier about the American Ideal colt.
Yeah.
And with the addition of down by the seaside, into the mix. It's turned out pretty nicely.
There was a quirky one for me, and this, again, why you've got to come on these parades, but you guys fed everyone, and the feed was going to happen after the parade, and let everyone, because the rain was at its heaviest, we ate first. The Sumdu colt, anyone wondering where we went in to eat, and this Sumdu colt was at the end on a box by himself, but he had a viewing station over where everyone else was eating, and he was just watching everyone else dishing up their food. I love him. I loved his attitude. I just thought, what a cool... And he was in a box on his own. He didn't get stirred up. He was just... And I think that's got to be a massive... Don't know what he's by. I just know he could be a Seaside, but I know he's out of Sumdu, and he just had the right attitude. I was really impressed with him.
Yes, he was enjoying all the... looking at everybody getting their food.
Well, there was talk that there was two fillies getting out of the wind, they were getting out of the rain, so they were on the other side, and they're like, well, this is a colt. He's like, I don't care. I just want to talk to people. He was more than happy. He didn't care about the fillies or anything, so that'll change. Most of the boys change very, very quickly. Thank you very much. As I said, always thank you from my point of view with Woodlands. We are actually now my oldest sponsor, and been a part of Campbell's Comments for a long time, so I really appreciate it. But fair to say, this year it's really kicked up. Have had a lovely bedroom, but Mr. Kenny Cook. I mean, that roast last night was outstanding, and I think it's the hospitality has been second to none. You've done a lovely job of talking, Mary. That's fine, but his cooking is next level. So can't believe it. You're going to get a barbecue. You reckon? You reckon we'll have a barbecue before yearling sale time?
Definitely.
We'll hold him to that one. Don't you worry.
He doesn't cook the barbecue. I do.
There's a new experience for us. So.
Mary's the whiz with the barbecue.
She's the worst with the barbecue.
She's the whiz.
Oh, whiz. I thought you said worse. I'm thinking,
no,
he's going to get backhand.
She's the whiz. They don't trust me with fire or sharp knives.
Well, the crash we heard just before we started this interview, I know why. Thank you very much. Congratulations on last year, and everything you do, but I think well done. But also from a harness racing point of view, continue to breed these breeds that are excelling our industry. We've seen what Pat and Duncan and Ken Brecken are doing with the trotting game. We don't want people to rest on their laurels in this pacing game as well. We need to get this game back to where it should be, front and centre, and the only way to do that is high quality horses, and we have to continue to breed it. So I think well done to both of you for what you're doing.
Thank you. We're very fortunate with the enthusiasm that's surrounding harness racing right now.
Yep.
There are big things happening in every area in the country.
And we need to keep it going.
And the enthusiasm, if you go to Southland's the absolute perfect example, the enthusiasm down there and the teamwork that's making harness racing as strong as it is the further south you go is quite impressive.
Mary, thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul, for all you
Don't
do.
you have to thank me?
For all you do for Woodlands. It's so much appreciated.
I was fairly confident I wasn't going to get asked back. Some of the things that were coming out of my mouth the first night, I thought, I'm never going to get back here.
Of course you will.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much as well.
It's a pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
You're
Thanks,
always
guys.
welcome.
Thank you.